Hey everybody, welcome back. Thank you for joining me again. This is day 8 of Planmas, and I hope you caught the quick clip of day 6 and 7. I had a busy weekend. So if you haven't seen any other videos, I encourage you to go back and take a look at the other days. This is day 8 of the collab event. It was a collab effort of 25 shops that each shop did a individual day. This is some pretty paper. This will be awesome for a junk journalist. So I'm going to hold on to that. And let's look inside and see what we have here. Okay, make sure I got everything out. And we have some tipping tape. Wow. Very neat and very useful. Now, I appreciate this. This is to tip in pages into your planners. And I do have a lot of bound planners that I can insert vellum or save any ephemera that I have. So it's a satin transparent PET tape on the die cut clear backing paper, specifically created for the use of journal tip-ins or craft projects. Pick your length and cut. So it's too slim line and too thicker. So those are nice. And this is by Lauren Phelps Design. And then we have a rose die cut here and a little card that says, just so you know, you got this. And it's Lauren Phelps Designs. Thank you for your order. And so that was day 8 with this pretty paper. And that makes sense now that I said it would be perfect for tipping in vellums and things of that nature. Today, in terms of planners and sharing a planner content with you, I'm going to do a flip through because everybody's out here. They have their Hobonichis and Hobonichi Weeks, and I've shown this. I think I have talked about this before. So I'm only going to flip really briefly of how I set mine up. This is the 2025 Hobonichi Weeks. I decorated the inside. There's a sticker of me and my husband at a holiday party last year. And then I have some stickers. And this is actually a sticker of me that I had custom made. Uh, and then just loving all the stickers. So a sticker on the front. My cover, the calendars, in this particular planner, I didn't do anything to the pages, but I do cover the dates in other planners. I use the Hobonichi's calendars for step tracking. I'm trying to be mindful of my steps, so I try to every day I write down my steps, and then at the end of the month I write the average out. And so I did not start this in December. I have done a plan with me on one of the other new ones this year for December, but this time around in 2025 I did not start early. I started January 1st. So I use Coffee Monster Co. Uh, monthly kits, and this is I bought the whole year's worth, and this is what I did. I kind of changed it up going into 2026, but I really enjoyed the consistent colors. Also, having a new quarter sticker is helpful as well. Each quarter, I got these and purchased these so to indicate when we're running into a new quarter of the year. So yeah, I did that kind of decorating. This is my health and fitness planner, and what I did most recently, I got this from Seaweed Kisses over on YouTube. Michelle, I have the clear cover from Hobonichi, but what she did was add Velcro to it, and this is an excellent tip. It keeps it closed because, as you can see, this is a mega softback, and it gets really thick. So I didn't get megas this year, and you have to be mindful if you're gonna push down any tabs. But at this point, this planner has been well used and well loved. I put it in my purse anytime I'm going to a doctor's appointment for anybody, myself or my family members, and yeah, so that's what I use now. Because I did not start this planner in December, I used the the blank pages to keep. I was working on some goals, and I documented exercise routines and writing down different fasting. I really was looking into fasting, which I'm still considering taking on for the January. I also took notes about the different parts of fasting, and that's what this how it works and how it affects your body. So I just filled that up because it was my health and fitness, and then I started in January 1st, and I came in with Coffee Mustard Co. I am a quarter subscriber, so I do have a lot of Coffee Mustard Co. items, and I just pretty much kept it decorated. But I wanted to talk about the various ways to utilize your Hobonichi Weeks, and it's pretty much, and I'll stay consistent to what I'm saying. It's about what you like and what you need in your life, and so I switched it up. I kept moving around, changing different layouts to see. At the beginning of the year, I was tracking what I ate for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I had a gratitude. I kept track of the weather, a mood tracker. I was just drawing the emoji face, um, the quality of sleep I had, anxiety levels, and things of that nature. So I did that for a while. I used stickers to do the breakfast, lunch, and dinner because I had extra stickers, and I did my step count in here. I didn't do that too. I didn't continue with that because I think it was redundant to track in both places, in the front and in this. So that was just something I did that day. I had my mood, my anxiety levels, how did I had good sleep or bad sleep. I wrote down a quick grocery list based on what I was creating in the menu that week. Uh, just information I wanted to track. So I did that consistently for a while. Mood, anxiety, sleep, the weather, doctor's appointment, something grateful that happened, or something that I did. That's what. And then I had moments where I did not come and actually fill out all the things. It's just 2025 was a whole year. So I tipped in some different stickers. It's just based on how I was feeling. Here's a Valentine's spread, tracking mood, sleep, still doing it. Also, just using different color markers. I will say, when you do something like this, you have to be mindful if the color will shadow out. I use Tombow markers, and they're pretty good in the Hobonichi Weeks paper. And similar things, different sticker kits. I had some Pip sticks, and this is Hello Kitty. That was a really popular spread. A highlight of the day, and a little mini micro journal about how I was doing, weather, and then breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I had some stickers from House Sticker Core. I have some YouTube videos with these layouts, but again, it was just breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Then writing down any appointments or important things that I needed that day, the weather, and then tracking my mood, anxiety, sleep, and steps. If I hit 5K or 3K, I was really trying to increase, so I wanted to see where I was plotting out. Similar, let me see. I think I kept that style going on for a while. And more decor, more flowers, just doing that. This one was breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it was just sometimes I didn't have time to do a whole lot. I did the weather. I kept up with weather because weather affects my mood and how I feel greatly. I laid out a spot for dinner, but didn't get to complete it for meal planning. This is my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. These are to-do list reminders, things I was doing that week, what I wanted to, what I was doing. This was a rough time this year, so I'm reading and I'm getting stuck. But again, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, something to just stay happy, how many steps, remember, and writing out what was important that week. Going into May, um, I had a lot going on in my life, and so this is where this ticks up. But I turned my planner sideways and did my tracking this way, and then I used a vertical washi to separate things I did that day of trying to keep my mind busy. Doctor's appointments next, and this is the section for self care that I started tracking. Um, And here we have them, the end of May, more colorful spreads and things of that. So I did that for a while, and then life just took a turn for me. So I used stickers, and this is how it went. It was a lot going on. So it's true to toe. I'm not upset with it. I documented what I could document, and I kept it moving. This is a backdated, so I had a 1-page sticker here, and this is a whole 1-page sticker, and then I filled in what I could over here on that side, and I was just documenting and journaling. And this is when I was taking care of my mother before she passed away. I did a lot of mini journal. I didn't care about the weather. I just needed to put something down because I was out of town and I didn't have all my tools. I just used what I had. More information. Let's just keep flipping. This is while I was dealing with everything, and I came back home in August, and so I was trying to play catch up. I was trying to find some kind of relevant normal. So just the fact that I was able to put anything down is a big deal. Uh, it's kind of off kilter, but I still tracked weather and then scheduling appointments and keeping up with things because we were out of town for a good amount of minutes. So I had to make sure I was doing the things that need to be done, and this planner helped me stay accountable. I wrote down gratitude list, writing down what I was eating, the weather, trying new routines, trying to adjust my body, still trying to figure out the health thing. So, and that's what these days are. Sometimes I just would just draw with markers and maybe a little bit of washi. So that's what you see here. And now moving over into September, more doctor's appointments, meal planning, to-do list, and I was tracking my glucose in here. Same here. We went just as far as breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we were packing and getting ready to move. We had a lot going on, so just keeping up with what my sugar was and just keeping facts of make sure we had every appointment scheduled. For October, I know this is when we were buckling down, really getting pumped up for the move. I was able to track symptoms I was having. This is when I was diagnosed with diabetes. It is being managed now, but I was writing down my symptoms and how I was feeling. So when I went to the doctor, I could tell the doctor what I was feeling. Sometimes I would use just pen and marker to draw the weather symbols. I actually saw this on YouTube from another creator that was drawing in her weather icons, and I thought I liked that idea. It was something I like drawing, I like doodling. More just getting something down on paper, writing down facts, starting new medication, transferring orders. I pre-decorated this early, and I know that's why because this is the actual week we moved, and I wrote in what we had going on during that week, and actually getting on the road and leaving Virginia. So now we're going to more of I did not focus as much on my health as I should have, other than trying to find a doctor and get established because this is the week I broke my toe and I ended up going to the ER. So that whole week kind of went downhill after that. Shopping, I was doing making lists of things I need from the store. Here's some more doodles I just drew, and this is leading up to where we are this week. I started tracking habits again because I want to reestablish myself for December. I created a list of things I wanted to focus on. More symptoms about my foot and symptoms about my husband's dealing with stuff. I have all that in there and making appointments. I switched it up. I put my weather on this side here and dinners, and then writing down important things that we don't want to forget. List of to-dos, habit tracking, and then things I don't want to forget. This one's a kind of a gray, muted spread. This is actually Thanksgiving week. I used some stickers from CAD Designs, it's Christy Designs, And then I'm writing out important things I didn't want to forget, tracking my habits. And last week was this. Um, this is just basic setup because I did go into my new planner, and I created one for this week, and this is the spread for this week, and I intend on tracking my glucose and writing down appointments and our weather. And this is my tracker that I put in for today, for this week, to keep up with things I want to do to keep me centered, a to-do list and reminders. So for this is week 50, and we only have 2 more weeks in this planner. What I used, the back portion of Omega, in which this is the only year, I mean, this year, 2026, I did not purchase a Mega. I just purchased the regular size. They give you your index section, and what I will do before the end of the year is come in and write down what's on what pages, or what to reference those pages, particular information if I want to use it. But I've been flipping through this the whole year. I know where stuff sits, for the most part. So one thing I kept in my back of my Hobonichi Weeks is a master grocery list. It's a list of, it's more of a trigger list to look at these things and see if I need any at the time. Fresh vegetables, fresh fruit, dairy, spice, herb, condiments, baking, meats, kitchen, personal care, home goods, breads, bathroom, pantry, anything I needed to just think about when I go to the grocery store, write out a list. I would have a trigger list here available for me. Um, Also, healthy. If I when looking at like fasting, you need to mind your proteins and things of that nature. So I wrote out a list, um, in the terms of what kind of food it was. So that was also a trigger list. Mental health matters. I ended up not using this section. I created this section, but I ended up using a different planner altogether. But I had that space if I needed to use it. Trigger list, the same thing. Now, the idea behind the trigger list is writing down things that you know are triggers. I used to smoke cigarettes, and I quit, and I'm about 15 months out now, and my intentions were in 2025. It was to write down anything that could be a trigger for me to either have me emotional, setback, or anything, and how to avoid them would be the next step. But I didn't have to do it, and that's I didn't have to write a list, and I have still maintained successfully not going back and doing it and not falling back on what I quit. I write a self-care list of things I can do to um now set to do self-care. I did it before and after a body regimen. So I took this internet. I found this on the internet somewhere, and I measured each of the sections on my body, and I put it in there. So I did that January 1st, and as of December 31st, I'll put where I'm at there. And that's the whole thing about before and after. I created a vision board, of things I wanted to do or wanted to happen this year. 26th and wedding anniversary, my prayer life, manifesting, family. This is just one version of the vision board that I created for this year. Uh, More notes from fasting, information on various things. I had different trackers that I wanted to try. Did not do this 75 soft because that just did not work out. But I will write down information related to doctor's appointments and things of that. Sometimes I will write down lists, and there's something I want to hold on to. One thing is in the Hobonichi, if you want to identify your pages and you have a lot of washi, is to trim the edges of the pages. You put one side of the washi tape on one side and then fold it down. And then you can readily identify those important pages. Some of these things are really personal to me, and I'm not going to put that on the internet. But I was trying to think of ways. Here's a blank canvas of just trying to figure out what I wanted to do in my Hobonichi. This is a prototype template, and just writing down how I wanted to track affirmations and highlight of the day, weather, habits, and mood tracker. this will probably be my go-to spread for the Hobonichi Weeks next year. Also in the back, let me see, in the list of things, because I did have the Japanese version, I started tracking down the list of books that I read that year, but I did not continue in this planner. I still have a list, but it's just not in this one. And then, more importantly, a lot of people will do a pen test in the back, but I didn't do that on here. So this is my Hobonichi Weeks. I just wanted to share some ideas, a more in-depth view of how my year went. We have 2 weeks left in the year. I'm excited for 2025 to come to a close. Not rushing time, just happy to see 2025 leave. But I appreciate you stopping by, being coming back every day, and I hope that you like, share, and subscribe this video. Thank you.